Dr Megan Woods.
Thank you. I'm happy to take a call on this bill, with Labor supporting sending this bill to Select Committee. As many of my colleagues have said, we'd like to thank the Minister for the collaborative approach that he's taken in regard to this legislation. And I think what we're seeing here tonight during this debate is that Labor supports the broad direction of this review, but can see that there are some problems that need to be ironed out. My previous colleagues who have spoken have pointed to the fact that we see that New Zealand First have raised some real issues that need consideration. And the reason that we're supporting this bill at this reading is so that it can go to the Select Committee stage and it can be heard in this forum. What it is for us is we see that this is a piece of legislation that is looking to fix and unpick a period of our history throughout the 1980s and 1990s when we removed many of the regulations around our building industry that were there to protect consumers and the people who were living in those buildings. It is this that we've heard tonight many times over. It is the removal of these regulations that have given us the leaky homes situation, and it is also the situation that has made people feel unsafe in terms of the Canterbury earthquake, in terms of the surety of a house. Like my colleague beside me, Leanne Dalzell, as someone who lives in Christchurch, the need to have good regulation around housing and home has become more apparent to us in the last 18 months. This isn't just about the protection in terms of whether the architraves are right in your house. This is about protections of whether your house is going to hold up and you are going to be safe within the very building, and that you're going to trust that building is not going to be part of your demise. So we consider that this really does need to be given a good chance for these issues to be considered. We can't just think about regulation in terms of building, in terms of red tape, and something that needs to be skirted around. We can't think of this as something that we have to remove to make an industry more efficient when it's coming to something as fundamental as buildings in which people's lives can be put at risk if we get this wrong. We've heard tonight over and over again, if we as legislators in this House get this regulation wrong, then we do put people's lives and we do put people's livelihoods at risk, and we need to ensure that we get this right. This isn't consumer protection in terms of whether or not your television is going to work 6 months after you've bought it. This is consumer protection in that you're protecting the biggest investment that anyone is going to make in a monetary sense, and an investment that people are making in terms of their safety. So we need to send this bill to Select Committee, as my colleagues have said. We need to give people a chance to give their feedback and to talk to us about how it is that we can get these regulations right. It is our duty as legislators in this House to do this. We have to get these protections right. So I'm happy to stand here in support of Labor sending this bill to Select Committee. Thank you.
I call Gareth Hughes.
Speaker, Ngā mihi nui kia koutou, kia ora. I rise to take a call on the building amendment.